I love cancel culture.
Even Jimmy Fallon?
Not.
He's like the least deserving of getting canceled of all late night hosts.
According to a scathing Rolling Stone article published Thursday morning, 16 current and former employees of The Tonight Show say Fallon's on-air, likable persona is a facade. The anonymous sources describe a toxic work environment where Fallon would act erratic and dismissive. One former staffer being quoted as saying, "You never knew which Jimmy we were going to get and when he was going to throw a hissy fit."
All right, so this is classic, right? The narcissistic, gaslighting, bipolar boss, right? Where you never know which guy you're going to get, right? I'm sort of speculating here, but we've all had those bosses. And a lot of them, were kind of successful.
Almost every boss I've had, especially the ones that were like top level creative and successful, have always been an in some way or another. And
right.
You have to be to get to that level.
So is this just a case of soft people, or is it legit?
Some reportedly told HR about their experiences during exit interviews. Others feared retaliation if they spoke up. It's common knowledge that entertainment TV is a stressful industry, but sources say this was different.
Jimmy Fallon is guilty of being erratic, dismissive, and I forget the third word. Where's the toxic, terrible thing? I was expecting like sexual discrimination or harassment or like physical abuse or something.
Right.
You're telling me the guy's a little bit mean to you?
So he's a meanie. That's what this is, right? So with all due respect, if you're getting Me Too'd or some serious stuff is happening, raise your hand or tell a teacher. But late night TV is a stressful situation. We're going to get to this in a minute because they're all getting killed in the ratings by Gutfeld.
Former employees say their mental health was impacted. One telling the magazine, quote, "Mentally, I was in the lowest place of my life. I didn't want to live anymore. I thought about taking my own life all the time. I knew deep down I would never actually do it. But in my head, I'm like, why do I think about this all the time?" Now, a spokesperson for NBC defended the program, saying providing a respectful working environment is a top priority. As you know, Fallon is not the first host to come under fire after reports of a toxic work environment. You may recall Ellen DeGeneres bid farewell to her long-running daytime talk show following similar allegations.
That's right. I remember that.
Where's the toxic? I'm still waiting for the toxic work environment. It's like, oh, your boss was a little bit mean. Your boss was demanding. It's like this generation. Something tells me everybody who works on the Fallon show is like 20-something, 30-something. I just have a feeling.
So forget the two first paragraphs on this one, dude. However, a show source notes to page 6 that many of the accusations are coming from former staffers, telling us exclusively that the work environment has significantly shifted since new showrunner Chris Miller joined in May.
Yeah, and in the original Rolling Stone article, they contacted 80 people. 80 people, only 16 had bad things to say, and of those 16, only 2 are currently working there. So, I mean, dude, have you ever quit a job and been totally happy about the job you just left? Isn't that kind of the reason you quit or were fired?
Yes, I know, yeah. I know. I just love this job. I think I'm gonna quit.
Yeah.
Tonight Show staffers claim Jimmy Fallon is erratic and seems drunk at toxic workplace. Seems drunk.
Seems.
Smells?
He seems drunk. I wanted to highlight this from the original Rolling Stone article. 7 former employees say their mental health was impacted by the alleged experiences working at the Tonight Show. These staffers say it was commonplace to hear people joking about wanting to end themselves, and that they would refer to guest dressing rooms in the office as crying rooms, because that's where they'd go to let out their emotions when they were upset with their alleged mistreatment. Now, if you are regularly crying at work, I'd suggest maybe you're not cut out for any workplace. And it does grant the reader a certain vision in their mind of what type of person you might be.
We all know there's nothing wrong with crying, but if you're crying on the job, people are just going to lose respect for you. They just are. That's just the way life works. And crying rooms, okay, I guess that's better than crying in the hallway, but how bad really is it, man? Crying rooms, dude?
Also, a couple other highlights. those complaining were saying, nobody told Jimmy no. Well, he's the boss. You don't tell him no. And then one of these people's complaining they had their first anxiety attack when they were working for Jimmy. And another had hair thinning and weakened nail beds. Okay,
Wow.
we know what this person looks like.
That's amazing. Weakened nail beds. Woo! That's where we are. Wow. That's incredible. Weakened nail beds.
I don't even know how to comment on that, man.
I've worked gigs where the bosses were like big, I mean, like super dicks, like, you know, crazy men. Like, you either choose to work there or you don't. Weakened nail beds.
And then we mentioned that 4 other employees say they are in therapy because of their experiences. Oh, God. There was one of the employees who was noting that even Seinfeld had asked Jimmy to apologize to like a guy holding cue cards who he'd like been short with. And they were saying, oh, that was like this serious moment. And Seinfeld made him apologize. So Seinfeld saw this story come out of Jimmy getting canceled. And he said, as Seinfeld himself sent a statement to Rolling Stone, "This is so stupid. I remember this moment quite well. I teased Jimmy about a flub and we all had a fun laugh about how rarely Jimmy is thrown off. It was not uncomfortable at all. Jimmy and I still occasionally recall it and laugh. Idiotic twisting of events."
Is mainstream media, is certain leftist outlets, are they that desperate for eyeballs that they'll sort of create a story out of a nothing burger?
I think so.
What the hell is going on?
All right, so what's really going on here is that the writers are still on strike, which doesn't affect Gutfeld, but it does affect Colbert, Kimmel, and Fallon, and they're trying to get him in the news. That's right, Gutfeld on Fox, #1.
Of course.
Thank you.
What happened at late night for someone like you to come in and become #1?
Well, first, I didn't know what I was doing, so what helped me was like Fox, 7 or 8 years of just doing the same thing every night, red eye, middle of the night. So even though I was bad, a lot of people really didn't see how bad I was, including the executives, or I would have been fired. But so what happens is Fox was patient, gave me time to grow, and just at the perfect moment, you had Democrat president, woke culture. You had TV personalities that were more interested in keeping their job than telling the truth. And so all of late night just became this kind of big mush. The differentiation just came from me doing something that wasn't them.
Right. Bingo. That's exactly what happened, dude. All of the, Kimmel, Fallon, Colbert, they all went super woke. The viewers were like, we're not having it. And Gutfeld went to #1.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they were really like all interchangeable. It got to the point where like you never really knew which show you were watching until you actually got to see a shot of them. But I would say like Fallon was definitely the best and the least woke of all of them. Which is
yes.
You talk about something that's, I think, relatively hysterical. It is what's happened at late night TV. You mentioned it before. Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon was funny with Donald Trump, and he never recovered because he normalized the president of the United States. Here's the moment that set the groundwork for you to be the king of late night. Watch.
I did not do it to normalize him or to say I believe in his political beliefs or any of that stuff. I'm sorry. I don't want to make anyone angry. I never do.
Right.
And I never will. It's all in the fun of the show. And I made a mistake. I'm sorry if I made anyone mad. And looking back, I would do it differently.
I remember exactly, and I'm going to play exactly what he's talking about, like right now. So Trump went on, it was 2016, and I was like, wow, look at this. Like Fallon sort of normalizing and trying to like, almost like, I almost took this in a way like, because Trump was a very polarizing figure, obviously back then, and trying to like unite the country and make him like, just normalize him on TV. I thought it was a super cool thing. And the left went bonkers. I can't believe you did that. Like, it was crazy. So there's the apology.
unreal. Let's watch the clip and then talk about that.
Donald, this is getting real. This is
it's getting real.
You still have time. Do you still want to do this? I mean, there's time.
We're doing well. It's been really a lot of fun, and it's an amazing movement all over the country. It's been incredible. So, no, it's been an honor for me, I have to say.
There's probably kids watching you right now. If they're at home watching,
check this out.
they do stay up late and watch our show. Why should they want to grow up and be president?
Well, I think you want to grow up and be president because you want to help people. And you want to help people. There's tremendous problems that people in this country have and all over the world. And if you want to help people, there's no better position to do it from than the presidency. So we can do a lot of good.
Great answer.
Did you always
Great answer. Great answer. I'm not even a fan. That's a great answer.
see yourself? Did you always see yourself getting into politics? Or
I really never did. I probably wouldn't have done many of the shows that I've done over the years if I had thought. But I never thought this would happen. 4 years ago, I really seriously considered it. And they renewed, as you know, they wanted me to stay and do The Apprentice, and I was doing all of these jobs. But I really wanted to do it, and ultimately I decided I'd wait. Let's see how things go with the country, and things only got worse. And I decided to do it. And you know, I gave up a lot by doing this. This is a tough thing. There's nothing easy about it. I've always heard doing this is a very, very difficult thing, but nobody knows how tough it is.
it is, right?
It's tough. Yeah.
I mean, it's been a long.
It's grueling. It's grueling, and but at the same time, very satisfying. You know, you see what's happening and you see what's going on, so it's very satisfying. But it's a grueling process.
Jimmy's crime is he humanized Trump, and like that's probably where all this started and this negativity towards him started. And I've got this clip, which like was great. I love this.
Can I mess your hair up?
The answer is yes.
Right. That was the moment. Donald Trump, everybody! And everyone was like, what? You did what? I thought it was a cool moment. The left freaked out, man.
And I like, as soon as he did that, I'm like, oh, this is going to make them all so mad. Because he came off as a funny, nice, just normal guy.
Correct. And this is, like I said, I hate to keep saying it, but this is coming from a guy who didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him, but I thought this was a cool moment.
Not to worry, folks. Jimmy Fallon, being like the good guy he is, he's already come out ahead of this thing within 24 hours. Jimmy Fallon apologizes to the Tonight Show staff after the Rolling Stone report. He says, sorry if I embarrassed you and your family and friends. I feel so bad, I can't even tell you. Fallon reportedly told his employees on an all-hands Zoom meeting. 2 employees who were in the meeting say Fallon apologized and said he didn't intend to create that type of atmosphere for the show. According to the employees who say the message, by the way, it says 2 employees. Those are like the only 2 who like had originally complained, right? And so they've changed. They now think he's okay now because it says according to the employees who say the message from the talk show felt pretty earnest. Fallon also acknowledged the amount of turnover the Tonight Show's had in regard to its showrunners. They've been through 9 showrunners in 9 years. They say Fallon emphasized that the current showrunner, Chris Miller, is a great leader and he's not going anywhere.
Why?
I think it's an unnecessary apology, but in his position, he probably had to do it. And it's cool that he did it so fast.
Yeah, man, just like totally killing the story like right away before, you know, all the BS could come out. And I don't know, man. Like, I don't know Fallon, obviously, but like he seems like a legit good guy. He's like Will Ferrell to me. Like if any crazy stuff came out about Fallon, I'd be like, wow, really? Like,
yeah. You know, Newsweek and Rolling Stone and the Washington Post and the New York Times are all on the phone with each other. It's like, he already apologized? Already? Damn it.
Yeah.
Like, there goes the next like 4 days of stories they had planned.
That's right. And for the writers, keep striking. Get your money. Guys, leave your comments below and make sure you smash that like button. Help this channel grow. We are Yakcast. Yeah.
And subscribe.